And ball watchers, welcome back to Winning Ways. We are back, and I just got to have one quick clip to start us off, but just so y'all can hear what we're kind of feeling today. Yeah, that's right. City is back. We are back to our winning ways, and in quite a fashion, knocking off number one in the MLS ranked FC Cincinnati. What a win last night, Justin. 5-1. Our predictions couldn't even come close to this one. This one was just absolutely phenomenal.
How could you have even guessed that was going to happen? We haven't scored in the past two games, and we put 5 up in one game, and we scored in like the 4th minute, and just absolutely blew these guys out of the water. We talked about it. If we get an early goal, we could blow them out of the water. We mentioned that last podcast, but I just didn't think we'd do it.
It was fantastic. It was fantastic. Not my word for the day, though, Justin. So let's start it off with our one-word summaries. Before we get into that, actually, a lot of agenda today to cover. So many highlights, a couple lowlights, a couple of other different things we're going to talk about in terms of giveaways coming up. So get excited for that. We're going to talk about player ratings, front to back, and then our predictions, which didn't fare too hot, and the Grahammer, which also didn't fare too hot. But you know what? We're fine because the emotional hedge is there. So a lot to get through today, but welcome to all joining. Hope you're having a fantastic Sunday, and if you're listening during the week, having a great week. So ball watching is back, and Justin, let's kick it off with our one-word summary. What do we have today?
So this one, I don't have a word. I saw what your word was going to be, and I had to loop in some kind of rain with a hour and a half rain delay. So I went to what is kind of, I guess, applicable, Dodgeball, the movie. It was it's literally called The Underdog Story. And I did this scene.
This is it. La loser. Ready for the hurricane. Just don't go crying to mama when I spank you in front of all these people.
So it has a two-part. One, are you ready for the hurricane? Because that rain was insane. 2, don't go crying to your mama. Joao Klaus made someone else's mother cry this time. Finally, after 2 games, his mom had been crying a lot.
He did indeed. He did indeed, man. I love all the storm references are going to be just off the charts today because my word is torrential. We poured it on FC Cincinnati. One wasn't enough. We got on the board early. Got on the board again in the 39th. Again in the stoppage time of a half. I mean, every chance we got, I feel like we were just able to convert on, and we'll look at the XG, but it kind of tells a different story, the actual game score, because we just made the most of everything. Everything was going our way last night offensively. So you got to love to be on the good side of that, because Cincy's got to be feeling rough this morning. Man, that was tough to see. But Justin, let's get on the victory lap here. Let's start doing a little bit of highlights, because there was a lot last night, a lot to break down, a lot to be excited about. But guess who got to start it off? The man, the menace, Jared Stroud, man, with laces of steel, just putting the boot through the ball on the volley I think it was a corner kick, right, that came off of, but he was just ready, and that's a tough one to finish, but he put his laces through it, no doubter. And you got to love it to happen to him. He's a mental guy. That was probably, I think he scored before this, Justin, 1 goal before joining us in 47 MLS matches. He's now got 3 in 8 total matches with us as a club. So fantastic start for him.
I love that you said it. I thought you were going to say the man, the myth, the legend. The man and the menace is 2 key things. I mean, we'll jump back to different times in the game, but that man is we've talked about it. He's the guy that you love to have on your team, but would hate to play against. He's just relentless, just always chipping at your heels and everything. And it was great to see him get another goal. It was an absolute strike. Love to see it. One of the things that we also talked about, we talked about it with one of the words, one of the 5-a-sides we did, getting stuck in. Leuven in the 9th minute. You and I both, he jumped in and did a 2-footer and then started a counterattack. We looked at each other. I was like, God, that was incredible. Obviously, man of the match. We'll touch on that later. The one thing I will say also after that, the entire first 20 minutes were just up and back. There wasn't a whole lot of possession. It was just very upbeat, and it was exciting to see it, and especially for the fans after an hour and a half wait. I loved it, and that's the style of play that we want to have. So having Cincy come in after having 3 1-0 wins in a row, come into a game that is extremely open and just wide open pace, that's what we needed out of this team.
We did. You made a good point. I mean, after that 2-hour plus hour rain delay, the last thing I would have liked to have seen is just a snooze fest of a game. And that first half, especially the first probably 30 or so minutes, was anything but. It was nerve-wracking, definitely at times as well. But when we got that early goal, I really feel like there was not much looking back after that for us, because we had a couple great free kick opportunities. Leuven looking like I feel like he's so close to getting a beautiful free kick goal. Like it's just on the tip for him. And Vasilev also had some good service as well. So it's great to have those two options on the free kicks, because we look like we're going to put one of those away very soon.
Dude, that was definitely a highlight. He put it in the side netting, but the low light was like the supporter section and the stadium thought we scored. I mean, I thought we scored, but from our angle at 203, we're 80, 100 yards away, whatever you want to call it. I don't know how they thought it went in, but I mean, I've watched it multiple times on the replay. It wasn't a beautiful free kick, just a curler. I thought it did go in again after I watched the replay.
Yeah, I agree. We saw some good antics last night. Joaquini's getting in on it. Stroud, obviously, he's captain of the antics club, just living rent free in opponents' heads. And the press was back last night. Justin, it was great to see a friend back in the press. We were creating overloads and putting guys under a lot of pressure, either in the middle third or the offensive third for the team. So it was great to see that kind of come back. We're bringing it back to, like I said, like the basics, the things that we're good at, the things that work so well for us. It was fantastic to see just kind of the rebirth or the return to a lot of the normalcy that we had gotten so used to in the very beginning. But then you fast forward, Justin, all the way up to the 39th minute, where John Nelson makes a left winger like run, just putting guys on skates. There was the second man that he beat. The rumor is that he's still sliding somewhere. He's just west of the city now. So what a move from John Nelson, just taking the whole left flank on, getting good service to Joaquini, getting the shot off, and guess who's there for the rebound? The man, Leuven.
I was going to say, when you said the guy's still on skates, you made the dad joke that he's still sliding somewhere. I was going to say we should just make John Nelson like the face of Steinberg skate rink. And like, this guy just puts guys on skates every time. And his service has just been incredible. I love to watch it. It's just awesome to see. And especially, and we talked about it, this was revenge game. This was a team that left him open when it came to the expansion draft.
Yep.
Dumb move. And it hit him hard.
Dumb move. And he left bodies in his wake. You got to know that he probably loved doing that last night. So love the spirit from John Nelson, and kudos to him. Definitely deserved an assist last night. I think he had like 2 hockey assists in 2 of our goals. So that happened. Not many minutes later, Justin, Kyle Hebert getting back on the score sheet with a beautiful header, one of those little glancing headers, the flick headers to the back post off a Stroud assist. So Stroud, goal and assist in the first half. The man just screams production.
Yeah, I mean, it looked great, and I was extremely excited to see Hebert get on the board as well. Like a little Canadian. We needed to make sure that he got back into the team after going up and playing for the Canadian national team. Sorry, Cincy. We absolutely just finished it in the first half. This game was over by halftime, and we talked about that. We had a couple bloopers. I need to put those out there from me and you, from Lou. Shout out Kevin Luman, our producer, trying to do the halftime stuff and like give an update. We had like 8 different videos that
we did. Maybe some bonus content coming your way for everyone. But I don't know why Cincy even came out for the second half, because they just looked gutted, man. I mean, I don't blame them. It wasn't going their way. Everything was going our way. We just looked on fire, and the goals didn't stop. 53rd minute, that Rasmus Alm flick from the John Nelson ball was, oh my God, like just mouth-watering. Go watch it back. It's off the back part of his heel on a flick right into Joaquini's path, who has to have the pace to catch up to that, and has a great finish. But take nothing away. That was a great team move. Literally 1 pass, 2 pass, goal. It was so simple, so direct. It screams that our playing style.
We'll talk about that more, especially in like, I have it lower on our list to talk through, but this was a perfect game for us. When you think about, everybody still looks like our possession and our passing accuracy is still lower half on the MLS. It doesn't matter. This game screams that. We had a total of 317 passes, 217 you're accurate. It's only 68% compared to their 425, but yet we won the game 5-1. This was exactly the playing style that we've been looking to see, and they just excelled in it last night, and it was incredible.
It was. And the last thing I'll get to is Rasmus Alm back. Didn't get on the score sheet technically, but his lace of a shot, just an absolute laser beam off the post and then off goalkeeper Roman Celentano's head or hand. and into the goal was just a fantastic cap end to a 5-goal night for the team. I think it could have been even 6, maybe 7, but putting that many past a team that has the best, I think, goals against, or at least they've only allowed 4 goals against so far this season, and putting 5 past them. Welcome to MLS. This is St. Louis. This is our league now. Bye-bye, Cincy. So what a fantastic game. Highlights. Only the things I'll mention, Justin, maybe talk some stats, is nice to see Pedro get some playing time. I think he's one of the only first teamers that is at least suited up that has not seen the field yet. So good for him to get a 30-minute run out. I liked some of what I saw from him. I saw some good stuff from Jensen as well. He looks like he's got a good amount of talent, and we brought him in because he's got this raw talent that we want to really develop, and he's got these pace and this technical ability that we think we could really see progress in his time here. So a lot of stuff to be very, very excited about watching this game.
Those last 2 points that you made, I was extremely excited to see Pedro. I feel like that guy's been working his tail off. Had an absolute banger for City 2 last year. It was like top 5 goals of the year for City 2, or just for MLS Next Pro. And then I'm extremely high on Isak Jensen. I think he will get a lot more playing time as we progress with this team. He's one of those guys that can just immediately be a plug and just be extremely exciting to watch as far as attacking goes. And he's only 19. So I hope we keep it going like that.
Yeah. Let's wrap this up, Justin. Let's get into a couple stats before we get into the lowlights. So when you think about XG, we talk about XG a lot, and this is, I think, a great learning lesson because technically last night, depends on where you look. XG is calculated different places everywhere. Cincinnati had the better of the XG last night, and there's one reason why. So they had 1.51 expected goals last night. We had 1.48. So you think about it. You're like, how? Because we had 5 goals. We just made the most of very, very small percentage chances. So when you think about that, Stroud's goal, there was a guy literally a centimeter in front of him. I don't know how it didn't touch that guy, but that strike goes in.
It did. It was the deflection, but it was going in regardless. It got barely nicked. I think that's what, exactly.
Hard chance to take. It's on a half volley. Great finish. Leuven, same thing. There's a guy in front of him. Goalie probably could have done better on that one. Hebert's header, not easy by any means. Those are all 0.07, 0.06, and 0.13 expected goals, respectively. So all those chances together only got us to what? Like just over 0.2, maybe 0.25 XG. But we put all 3 of those in his goals. Our best chance of the night in terms of quantifiability was Joaquini's goal, which was a 0.26. But Cincy, this is why they're ahead of us in expected goals tonight, is that goal they scored, it was literally, I think, a couple feet off the line. The guy had just squared up and just finished it. That was a 0.97 expected goal opportunity there. So that guy had to have tried to miss that, to not score it. So that's kind of how XG works. All that to say is that we were extremely effective and efficient with our chance creation and our finishing last night. There was no doubt about it. These chances weren't the best, but we put them away. And that's what you have to do to good teams like Cincy, and you killed the game very early.
One thing I want to say on XG, Jake, and maybe you can help me with this. We have not talked about this before. I don't really know if I'm a big fan of the XG stuff, but after watching this game, I kind of am. So when you say like 0.07 for Stroud's goal, take that to, if that's a percentage, that's 7% chance it goes in. Kind of makes sense. And I actually kind of agree with that. When you try to, so people that are like, they had more XG than us, how do we win 5-1? It's really the chances and the percentage that you're going to finish that. And it makes sense when you look at, when you look at Gio's goal, 0.26. He scores that 1 out of 4 times, or they expect that to be scored. Yeah, it was a 1-on-1 with the goalie. Goalie had good stance.
Yep,
I would agree. It's probably it goes in a fourth of the time, either save, miss the goal, whatever. And we absolutely just been clinical in finishing.
Right. XG just really, I think, contextualizes chance creation and the quality that you had in your chance creation on the night, and your effectiveness. So we were obviously extremely effective last night. So all that to say that overall, I'm super excited about this game. I think we got back to our game. We scored early. We made it hurt. We made the most of our chances. And defensively, we looked pretty up to the task as well. They were missing some tools in Lucho Acosta and Brenner, as well as he's on the move to Italy, actually, to join 10th place side Udinese. But a lot of good things to take away from this. Apparently, locker room vibes during the rain delay were fantastic as well. There was chess play. There was dancing, a lot of positivity. Carnell had a lot of good stuff to talk about, that he loved the relationship that the boys are building there. And, I don't know what since he was doing in the locker room, but you love to see that. Maybe that's a product of them being together for so long before the season started.
2 things. One, did you say there was chess play?
people were playing chess. Hebert was playing chess, which totally makes sense.
It's such a nerd in a good way. Like when he rattled off, like when we talked to Johnny about it, he rattled off like 1,000 digits of pi. That just, I'm not surprised. Like that's how he gets ready for a game, is playing chess. Number two, Cincy, during the rain delay, I think they just told their guys to start the buses. And they're just like, hey, we can probably just get out of here as quick as we can. Once this game's over, we know we're screwed.
Yeah, I think so too. I think what happened was I heard that a bunch of places in St. Louis like lost power. And I think Cincy was one of those teams that no one plugged them back in after the power came back on.
Nice.
Like they were just
Nice.
flat, absolutely flat. So love our dominance. Leuven had a world-class performance last night. He led the team in passes, total touches, total crosses, had an assist, got his goal. He's now tied back on the MLS top of the assist charts. So great for him. And I think, Justin, not too much you want to get into in the lowlights, but let's talk about him anyway, because I think there's always room for improvement for this team. So I'll start it off with you. Anything you want to see kind of change from last night's vision that we had?
No. I don't really know what to say. Sorry, I was trying to look at also another low light is MLS has not updated their website as far as standings go. New England tied and Seattle lost, and obviously we beat Cincy, which makes
we're number one
of the table in the whole MLS.
One. Yep.
Unless wait, what did Atlanta do? I might be talking a little too quick.
No. We're all good. We're top of the table.
We're top two. Atlanta tied too. Yep. We're literally top of the MLS. And so at low light, high level low light, MLS, do better with your stats, man. Kind of dumb.
Yeah, MLS, do better with your stats. Another low light before I talk about some of the game. I heard Apple TV season pass last night was a disaster. So I'm sorry for everyone that was having that experience. Obviously, we didn't have to do that because we were there. But if you're going to build a product like that and on season pass and using a product like Apple, where I feel like they pride themselves on quality, you can't be dropping stuff like this. That is inexcusable.
I think it was like the whole pass too. It wasn't just our game, right? Like Ben Yeager was texting me during the game. He goes, dude, I will personally kill Apple. Like, I don't know how you can't, like you make these people stay up, especially for our game, for an hour and a half rain delay. And then you can't even stream it. Makes absolutely no sense. I don't know how they dropped that ball.
I don't know either. And on top of that, a couple of lowlights for me. I still see a couple times. I love Berkey's distribution still. I feel like he had a couple giveaways last night that either I'd like him just to go long on, or we need to iron out, because I feel like we don't want to be giving teams chances. We cannot be gifting chances to teams. I feel like that happens sometimes, and not just Berkey, but just giveaways in general. I saw a couple of those last night. I want us to kind of get a little more refined on our passing, but I think our passing overall was pretty solid last night. I do think we weathered a little bit of a storm after we scored our first goal. Since he didn't just die right there, I think they actually had a fairly decent response that we had to be, on the task for, to try to mitigate for their offensive kind of push to get that goal back and get that equalizer. Obviously never got it. But the Cincy goal, Justin, was kind of frustrating for me, I think, because it's one of my lowlights. Is I love Isak Jensen and his potential that he has. I feel like he's sometimes caught between two minds. Like, does he go for it and take that shot from 25 yards out, or take that guy on, or does he make the pass? And I feel like he kind of got caught in two minds last night, gave the ball away. We were way pushed upfield looking for a sixth on the night. So we got countered on. It was quick. It was a couple passes and our defense was unlocked, and they have the easy, literally a give me goal. So it was a bummer to see that happen despite the scoreline.
That's what I would say. So you've already touched on it. One thing, Berkey, he's still getting caught in no man's land a little bit, and he got chipped. He absolutely got beat. We got lucky that it missed the goal, but fine. I mean, I'll give that one up just on this game, but you can't do that when it's closer game. So good call up by Michael here in the comments. Number two, Jensen, when you're saying that, doing that giveaway, we've talked about this time and time again. When we're playing this style of play and we're that high up, if you have a giveaway, you have to absolutely end it immediately in their half. We cannot let these guys counter. Yes, it was extremely lucky. Not lucky. We killed them. We were happy to be up 5-0 and giving away a goal there. But say it's a 1-0 game, we got to be able to put that away, and you have to stop that immediately in their half. You can get the yellow there. Don't let them counter. Don't let Hebert and Parker have to do a last-ditch effort or have Roman Berkey do a great save. You got to end it in their half when you do that giveaway.
You do. And I feel like some guys have it. Like, I saw Indy last night, like, reach for a shoulder to pull a guy back after a giveaway, and I feel like you just got to commit to it. Just take the yellow and go for the body. Do not miss, because we can't afford to be counted on like that.
And we already talked about, like, whatever the yellow card count is, whatever. Fellas, if you're worried about getting suspended for a game or the $500 fine, I will Venmo you $500 if you can end these tackles in their half. I do not care. Please just do not let these close games go away because we're caught up from pressing so high.
Yeah, I'm with you. Overall, I think we did a good job taking care of a lot of Cincy's attack. They weren't totally nullified. I think we did a good job handling it. I thought Parker and Hebert had a pretty strong night, especially Kyle. I think Kyle was very, very much on his game last night. So kudos to him. Otherwise, the only other thing I'll kind of say on the negative side, and not overly negative, but I would have liked to seen some earlier subs last night. But when I did see the subs, I feel like our level kind of dropped a little bit as well. I don't think we were able to keep the momentum going as much. So, for guys like Jensen, for guys like Pedro, for guys like Akil Watts, obviously you get limited time to come in and make a difference like that. But I do feel like sometimes we were that kind of disrupted the momentum that we had before those subs. And I feel like as subs, you've got to be chomping at the bit to come on and make a difference and really see this win out in a sturdy way. So, maybe that's why Carnell kind of waited a little bit longer. Maybe he didn't really have that same level of trust to make those substitutions when he did, but we're going to need to have those subs available because, man, the way we play like that, just high flying, attacking soccer, it's got to get tiring for some guys. So I'm looking forward to seeing subs in depth become a little bit stronger for us over the course of the season. I think we're going to need that.
Also, last thing, got a text from my mom. I got to throw this in there. It was all Apple when it comes to the streaming service. It said you weren't subscribed, but then when you try to subscribe, it said you were already subscribed. So I don't just a never-ending loop, and people couldn't watch. Sorry, I had to touch on that.
No worries.
Yeah. Otherwise, I completely agree. I think Johnny Nelson, I don't know if it's just because we had him on and I'm watching him more closely, but this man has been absolutely killing it. I don't really understand what Cincy was doing when they left him high and dry and let us pick him up, but I'm extremely happy to have Johnny in St. Louis.
Yeah. Joke's on them. He's been outstanding this season for us, and he was outstanding again last night. So I think his carry down the flank was probably my moment of the game because it was a moment of brilliance from him. He just put his head down and just bulldozed through these guys and just finessed right through the legs of one of his former teammates, which was fantastic to see. And obviously set up our second goal, which was the game winner at the time. So fantastic for him.
Last thing I'm going to get ahead and say on this, it's going to be a low light as it comes out this week. Oh, St. Louis, they had 2 real tests and they lost them both. And then we had Cincy, who's top in the league. It's a real test, but they were missing 2 of their stars. Don't care. 5-1. Stop. No more excuses. What else is next? Everything is always going to have an excuse.
Right.
Please, everybody that watched this game, defend us. It makes no sense. I mean, actually, just tell them, all right, fine, we'll see you next game. There's nothing for me to say. We're playing Colorado next. We'll touch on that in the preview.
Yep.
That hit the over 10.5. This thing is going to be done in the first 15 minutes.
We've got a really active schedule coming up here with starting on Saturday of next week with Colorado and then Union Omaha on Tuesday and a little midweek game for U.S. Open Cup. And then I believe Portland back at home on that following Saturday. So on that note, Justin, we have got a giveaway for a pair of tickets to that U.S. Open Cup game for Union Omaha. And this is brought to you by our friends at Let Mo Play. So Let Mo Play, Let Missouri Play. That's the abbreviation for Mo.
Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah, I don't know if Mo might have been confusing, but yes, Let Mo Play, lifelong residents of Missouri, deeply connected to the state and committed to promoting policies that benefit our communities and driving, the greater benefit of St. Louis in general. So this group really believes that legalizing sports betting in Missouri can really provide a new means of revenue for the state and create new job opportunities for residents. So they're partnering with, forums like ours to reach new bases of people that actually have the power to vote and stand up and make their voices heard. And, I think this is one of those things that Justin, you and I talk about gambling and we really enjoy it, obviously to a responsible limit. We're not ever going to be idiots about that. I think we just do it for some fun sometimes, but there's a lot of actually tangible benefits that come with legalizing betting. And we've seen that in other states with tax revenue. A lot of ours, from what I've read in the bill, would be aimed at reinforcing education for K through 12. So a lot of those funds and that tax revenue would go that direction. So it's kind of like a vice to help feed something that's really positive in the future. So a lot of good behind that. But our friends have given us 2 tickets to the Union Omaha game. And to enter into this giveaway, all we're asking of you guys is if you believe in this cause and if you want to have your voice heard, go to letmoplay.com and take a look at it. And if you're interested, shoot Let Mo Play on Twitter a follow and shoot us a screenshot of that. And we're going to get you entered in this contest to win these 2 tickets. So all you got to do is we're going to put out a promotional tweet about this. Go follow Let Mo Play if you believe in that, if you want to support that, and send us a screenshot of that, and we'll get you entered to win 2 free tickets to go see City in their first ever U.S. Open Cup game against Union Omaha on Tuesday, Justin, the 25th of April?
Yeah, that sounds right.
That is right.
Yeah, it is. Last thing I'll say about that as well. We love sports gambling. Obviously, bet responsibly, but I feel like they keep talking about the revenue side of it. I know we lost some money yesterday, but it's my revenue as well. I am just raking it in with the city team, except for last night. And then guess what? If you lose money, it goes to the kids. So is there a downside in sports gambling? No is the quick answer.
No downside. So go to Let Mo Play, follow them on Twitter, send us a screenshot of that, and we'll get you entered. So we're going to do this from Sunday to Sunday. So starting today, all the way through Sunday of next week, we'll do this competition. And we'll put some plugs in there to make sure you all get reminded. But hey, free tickets for something that I think a lot of us might support as well. So go follow Let Mo Play, and we'll get you entered into this competition to win some free tickets to go.
Jake, we need to work with them and get the Grahammer all on the same for that game specifically. We need to be just an absolute just squad ride on whatever that
synergy. I like it. I like it. All right, Justin, let's go back here to player ratings. Player ratings are always fun here.
I thought we talked about this. We could skip player ratings. It's just 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10, 10.
Yeah, it's kind of just like A's across the board, I think, for this one. We'll spend a couple seconds here. I think Berkey last night, nothing outstanding, did his job. I'd give him a strong B plus. For me, I think he did his job last night. There's a couple times he was called on a little bit towards the end of the game. So happy for him. Defense, Kyle Hebert for me got an AA plus. He alone, he was fantastic. And I think our back line did a great job at nullifying the threat that they did bring, even though they're missing some key personnel. So I'd give the back line probably a pretty strong B plus as well. Anything against that?
No, I'd give Berkey an A minus. I think he had 4 saves, and the one that he didn't save, he couldn't save. It was literally a tap in from them. And then just the one thing that the only low for me is him being caught out in the chip. But other than that, dude, I thought he had a great game. Backline, incredible. Kyle Hebert, great to see. I already talked about Johnny, Tim Parker, Derwinski. The fact that we don't have to mention their name in the highlights means that they did their job. Yep. So I would give the backline an A, just a regular A.
Like it.
We gave a bug goal, but fine. I would give him an A. As we move into the midfield, I would also just give the midfield. I'd probably give honestly the midfield an A plus. To be honest, I think when you're thinking about the goals and everything, they were the ones that supplied everything from the counters. And we talked about Leuven getting stuck in, man of the match, obviously, but getting stuck in at the half line. So they did their job defensively. They were able to spring us in the attack. They had a couple goals themselves. Stroud with goal and assist in the first half. I would give the midfield an A plus.
I might too, man. I mean, just because Leuven and Stroud are in there, considered midfielders, I think both of them would get like an A plus curved, whatever that would equal on the GPA scale. What is that, a 5.5? They were fantastic.
What
I think
GPA did you have growing up?
Oh, it was the fake stuff. It was the fake
stuff. A 5.9. There's only one GPA. It's a 4.0.
It's just med. It's Jesuit stuff. You wouldn't get it, Justin. It's
Are you talking down on like small town stuff?
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. Cool.
That's what I'm doing.
Cool. D-World stuff.
It's the elite high schools that we're talking about here, and these were elite players. These were Cadillacs last night. Leuven and Stroud, I think both had their best performances maybe in a city jersey so far this season. Who I didn't see much of last night was Klaus, and I don't think that's a bad thing. I think he's had the spotlight a lot of these last couple of games, but I think he kind of maybe took a step back last night to let Gioacchini kind of shine. I think Klaus was in there kind of doing some dirty work, and Gioacchini obviously still working his tail off as well, but he got his goal last night. And I was glad to see that. So I think the forward line did enough last night for me. So I'd say probably an A for my forwards.
I would say, and we talked about this during the game, I think even though we didn't see a lot of Klaus to mention him, he did everything off the ball and holding the ball up that we need a big striker to do. Just because we're not seeing the flashy shots and the goals from him, I would give him an absolute A as well, and Gioacchini an A as well. I think looking across, I also loved, I love when Klaus, the only reason, looking at celebrations, Gioacchini had another great slide. Those guys have something. Did you see what they did?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is that them? Just like a connection?
No,
we need to figure that out. When they pointed their fingers together, did a little field goal, like you're playing. What was that? Paper football or whatever on the table. Yeah. So those guys, I love to see that. And Gioacchini had a great slide. But Klaus, the fact that we don't have to mention him is kind of a good thing, and he did everything off the ball he needed to do.
Agreed, Justin. We can probably keep this next segment pretty short, but our predictions, Grahammer reviews, long story short, we'll keep it sweet for you. We were wrong across the board, but in a good way. I predicted a draw 1-1. You predicted a 1-0 win, so you were right on the win there. But our bets did not cash, but we're okay with that because two things. One, we're fine to win the game and not worry about the bets at all. So emotionally, I'm on a high. But second, we learned a valuable lesson last night, Justin. And what's our lesson?
I will never
bet
the unders.
Oh my
Yes,
God.
I even said it on our last pod. I hate betting unders. I mean, the corner slapped. I think there was a total of 8, if I have that correct. 1 second. Corners, yes, there was only 8. So 11.5 under, well under there. I don't know why I bet the under on goals. That's just not exciting to go to a game and root for that. But I really felt even safer about it going in after the Storms. I was like, oh, this is not going to be a high scoring affair with that. But I don't care. Like you said, Jake, we won 5-1. My money going away. Do not care. Also, apparently, it goes to the kids. So that's cool. So I'm a fan of that. Unfortunately, it's the kids in Illinois. But let's bring that into the kids in Mo. Let Mo play.
There we go. I love it. I love it. So, Justin, all right. So 5-game win streak followed by a 2-game losing streak against Minnesota that was undefeated at the time, and Seattle, who's just been an absolute contender so far this season. How are we feeling? Where are we going to go from here, in your opinion?
I'm going back to Disney World.
Okay, we're back. No more Memphis?
No, shit. What if we go I was gonna say what's in between Disney World and Memphis, but it's just like Alabama. So I don't want to go there either. Let's just say now we're going to Destin. We're kind of closer.
Okay.
We're closer to where Disney World is. I think that's in Orlando. So
I like that.
We're in Florida again. So that's where we're going. We're also going to Colorado. We'll talk about that all over the preview. The only worry there is altitude, but that didn't really worry us when we were in RSL. Took that dub. I feel like we're healthy. The boys are humming. I know we're going to miss Blum again, but I don't think we're going to have to worry about Colorado's strength of offense. I think they're absolute trash.
Yeah.
So otherwise, I just think we keep riding this, and that now it feels like we're back on track. We needed an absolute blowout. I'm glad we didn't have a 1-0 game. All the boys are feeling good about this now.
Yeah, I had a good quote from last night in terms of where we go from here from Leuven. He said that I think there was great preparation of the coach to not focus so much on Cincinnati, but more focus on us. And you could tell that there was a performance we wanted to have like in the first game. We pressed. We were always there. It was so ugly for Cincinnati to play against us, and you could feel that we just dominated the game, which is true. I think they took a step back to focus on what we can do and what we can control versus trying to adapt our style for the opponent, which I think we kind of did for the Seattle game, maybe a little bit too much. So I like that return back to what we do, and I hope we can carry that forward. And that's how you course correct after a 3-game stretch where you played some tougher opponents. A lot of resilience, a lot of resolve in our playing style and how we press. So I love it. And now we're going to be back on top of the rankings, both in the Western Conference and the Supporter Shield for another week. And that's locked in. I know LAFC has a game in hand, but great for us. Most points in the league, most wins in the league, most goals in the league, and the biggest goal difference in the league. It's a great day to be a City fan. But Justin, someone's a little bit richer after yesterday with our We Built This City giveaway. Do you have you want to share a screen to have us spin the wheel and let us know who won this?
Absolutely. Let's do it. So Jake, we had 71 entries. So we'll need to figure this out a little bit. Going forward, I know we've talked about just getting entered will get you there now. We might have to true it up. So we had a ton of people going Klaus, Nico Giochini.
Yep.
And for this game, everyone would have been right. I don't know if anybody picked anybody that didn't score a goal, considering we had 5.
Yep.
But let's spin this wheel. Let's see who we got. It took me a second. So I shortened some of these names because there were 71. I will.
The wheel is spinning right now, by the way, for anyone listening to this on podcast.
Oh, yes. Austin. Oh, wait. No, sorry. Eric Pfeiffer OD. I believe that was on Twitter. Sorry, it almost landed on Austin Beers, which is a great name. But Eric Pfeiffer, we will, if I'm saying that right, I apologize. Or if I'm saying it wrong, I apologize. If I'm saying it right, nice. We will shoot you a DM. Congrats on the $50 pitch gift card. And while we're talking about this, Jake, I will stop sharing my screen. The pitch absolutely killed it again last night. And not only just, it was more than normal because they had to deal with these storms, and they brought everyone that was waiting outside into their lobby to let them get out of the storm, which is extremely nice of them. I think they were just so busy, so hectic everywhere. And it was nice to see everybody inside for that additional hour and a half. That's we were talking to Blaze. Usually that's when the game starts, you get everybody that leaves to go to the game, and you get a full new crowd to come in to watch the game. And we didn't have that turnover at the right time. So they had to make a lot of adjustments themselves. The staff absolutely killed it again. And I can't talk more about the pitch. The one thing I will note, as I'm wearing Battlehawk shirt, I think we play at 2 p.m. today at home. Go there if you're not there already. Next Saturday, they open up every Saturday and Sunday at 6:30 a.m. The pitch does. I'm going to make the pitch my Battlehawks pregame for next Saturday. The game's at 11 a.m. on Saturday. We'll talk about it more throughout the week, but that is a place where I'm just going to be. If you want to see us, I'll be there at 8 a.m. I'll be eating brunch. I'll be getting Irish coffees responsibly, and then I'll be going to the Battlehawks game. So get to the pitch if you haven't already. And Kelly Gadkados, great job again last night.
Yeah, shout out to everyone at the pitch, and yeah, go try something out. Go try the the European soccer scene. They have obviously tons of TVs. Whatever your team is, your team, or if you don't have a team, it's still a great place to watch a game. And they have an awesome looking breakfast menu. Justin, we'll put out the breakfast menu too this week at some point. But very kind of Irish sports bar, cool, unique dishes for breakfast that I feel like you don't get very many places. So go check it out. We're going to be there next Saturday, checking it out and doing some European soccer and having a Saturday, man. It's going to be a full day for us.
Dude, I think the one thing that we definitely need to note as well is when you get there and you have one of those areas, you are in control of the TV. If you're worried about like, oh, I don't know if they're going to be streaming my specific EPL game, there's an iPad on the wall that is the remote. I was just touching the thing all night and just flipping it from basketball to MLS to different MLS to the watching the news to make sure we were covered on tornado stuff. You're in charge. It's like you're basically at home. So get there and support local.
Oh, and the couches, man, comfortable. You can just watch your sports in peace. Great food, great drinks, great people, great service. The pitch has got to be your game day home base for whatever sports you're watching. But go next weekend for the early slate of soccer games, and let's have ourselves a weekend next weekend. But Justin, on that same note, we have ourselves a little bit of a different Saturday next Saturday as well. So City heads away to Colorado, to altitude, to play against the Rapids. And we have an opportunity with our friends at Ballpark Village, specifically at Sports and Social, to actually record our show there. So not going to be live on the speakers, but we'll be recording there live. And we'd love for you all to come out there. We're thinking it's going to be around probably 5 or 6 p.m. in terms of the show time. And we'll be able to get at least the first 50 people that come a free drink on the house at Sports and Social, which is your official soccer pub of Ballpark Village. They do free trolleys to every home match as well if you want to go there for pregame. They have chances to win city tickets at these kind of pregame parties. They do games like juggling contests. If you've got some sneaky, crazy juggling skills, this is a way to get some free stuff from it. They do great deals on buckets. I think $25 buckets and $4 Mick Ultra drafts every match. So another great place to watch a game if you're kind of more deep into the downtown area. But we will be there, Justin, on 4/22 next Saturday, recording live and streaming live, probably thinking like an hour show. So Justin, we might not do a Wednesday preview this week. We might actually save the preview for Saturday.
Yeah, we talked about that. I think we are going to say the preview for Saturday. Maybe we'll do something on Wednesday if we want to get like listener questions. Maybe we'll go on live, just bring people in or whatever. We'll figure that out as the week goes on. But yes, get to Sports and Social. It's going to be awesome. I think they're hooking us up. It's going to be a very fun time for us to record and trying something new for ourselves and being outside. The weather's going to be great. Start with us at the pitch in the morning. Go to the Battlehawks game at 11. You can walk from the Battlehawks to Ballpark Village. I'll be doing that. I don't know if I'll walk from the pitch to Battlehawks. I'll figure that out. But it will be a very long day. The game's not till 8:30, and it's a away game at Colorado. So we'll do a 5 or 6 preview, and we'll be hanging out and drinking beers and watching the game at Ballpark Village. So come join us.
Yeah, come join us. We'll definitely do more promotion as we go throughout the week, but wanted to make that quick plug for you all so we have a week to plan this out. But would love to meet you all. We've got a ton of people in the room right now, Justin. So hello to everyone joining us. We are getting to the end of the show here. So if you're in here live in the room, go ahead and hit that like button if you're here on YouTube right now. Really helps us, helps the YouTube, whatever crazy algorithm that works to make these videos get more views and get to more people that want to watch them. So hit the like button, hit subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a ton of you that are doing that as well. And hit notifications. So anytime we go live, that you're able to get notified when we are doing this, because we do this a lot.
I'm going to do one last shout out real quick. Rick Riley, he's one of our listeners. That guy, so we didn't talk about it in the lowlights. Stop selling beer after halftime ended. This guy was in line with me. I was trying to get you and Kevin and everybody else. We were sitting with beers. You can only take 2 at a time. He bought me a beer for us. One of those big tall boys too. Rick Riley. He loves listening to us. He says we have the great timing as far as like getting a drive into work and all of that and the timing of it for 30 minutes. Nice. So thank you, Rick, for last night. I appreciate it.
And thank you to you all for listening. This has been fantastic. We're 8 games into the season now. So a little bit under a fourth of the way into the season. But we're just getting going, man. We're just getting revved up. So we're excited. A lot of fun stuff planned ahead for you all. And thank you for being along for the journey. So shoot us a follow, shoot us a mention on social media, on Twitter and Instagram at BallWatchingSTL. And we'll be probably back with you on Saturday doing a live show from Ballpark Village at Sports and Social. If anything changes, we'll let you all know, but appreciate you being along for the ride, and have a great day, St. Louis. Let's go City.
All for City. Caw. Let's go Battlehawks.